All right. Fight night. Gennady Golovkin on the zone for the vacant IBF belt against Sergey Devrevyanchenko in the year of the upset. 2019 has been the year of the upset, and I'm telling you, don't be surprised if you see one tonight. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. Thank you so much for your support, supporters. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. But you supporters, I want to say thank you for watching the videos to the end, leaving your comments, leaving your questions. You're so much appreciated. Shout out to everybody that's on the Patreon. Also to the people that come to the live streams every day at around 11 o'clock, Monday through Friday, and OG Boxing Talk on Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time with myself, Kurt Sugar, Blood Boxing, and KQKC Boxing. Now we got a fight coming up tonight, what I thought was the second best fight of the night. I was looking forward to Clarissa Shields' fight, but she has a camp that don't know how to behave, acting like a bunch of kids, trying to risk the life of a 71-year-old man, so that fight is off. So I'm gonna focus my evening after making sure that I watch the Jaron Ennis fight, on watching the DAZN card that has Sergey Devrevyanchenko and Gennady Golovkin. And they're making a ridiculous amount of money for this fight. Gennady Golovkin making $15 million. My understanding is that Devrevyanchenko is making $7 million for this fight. So, you know, they burning cash over there on DAZN. So I might as well get my 2 cents worth of the value out of that. And so Gennady Golovkin is fighting to get the IBF championship back that he I do believe was stripped of. Yeah, he was stripped of when he wouldn't fight his mandatory Devrevyanchenko before. But hey, man, like all cats that duck out on something that obvious, hey, man, he's going to get more money in the end and fight the guy anyway. Devrevyanchenko, this is his second shot that I know of off the top of my head for the IBF championship. And he had lost to Daniel Jacobs. So these two guys are going to fight tonight. And Gennady Golovkin, from all I can hear and see, is the favorite. But again, this is the year of the upset. This is the year where fights that you think are going to be blowouts aren't blowouts. The most obvious example of that is, well, there were several. On a smaller scale, Nonito Donaire, when he won his 118-pound title by beating I can't remember what his name was, but his kid was heavily favored. Nonito, he throws his back out. Nonito Donaire winds up winning the fight, right? Upset. Then you have Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz. Anthony Joshua knocks down Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz gets up, knocks down Anthony Joshua 2 times. Then he gets knocked, a couple rounds go by, gets knocked down. Anthony Joshua gets knocked down 2 more times. Andy Ruiz quits up against the ropes. Andy Ruiz, the new heavyweight champion, multiple belts. Then you have Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury fighting Otto Wallin, some cat ain't nobody heard of, and there's almost an upset, but if not an upset, there's serious damage done because Tyson Fury gets his face gashed halfway open. And then there was a nip and tuck, very close fight with Errol Spence Jr. and Sean Porter, where many people believed Errol Spence Jr. was going to win that fight going away, but it winds up being a very, very close fight. Errol Spence in the 11th round winds up dropping Sean Porter. And then winning the 12th round. He separates himself on the scorecards and he makes it out of there with his belt, picks up Sean Porter's belt. Man, but everybody nervous the whole time. That has been the tone, and there's other examples of that in 2019. And I'm telling you, tonight, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if Sergey Devrevyanchenko is able to beat Gennady Golovkin. The reason that I say that is that ever since Gennady Golovkin has, for the last several years, since the Kell Brook fight, when Gennady Golovkin started stepping up his competition to fight the top level fighters in the division, right? Even though Kell Brook is clearly not in that division. He was a welterweight jumping up 2 weight classes. But he showed he had significant problems with Kell Brook till he broke Kell Brook's eyeball, knocked him out. So you could say, oh, well, maybe he just wasn't really trying to box him like that, and he just knew he could knock him out. So, okay, he knocked Kell Brook out, water under the bridge, but then he moves on. He fights Daniel Jacobs. And a lot of people believe Daniel Jacobs won that fight. If it wasn't for the fact that Gennady Golovkin had knocked down Daniel Jacobs, Daniel Jacobs might have very well upset Gennady Golovkin and won that fight. And then, of course, Canelo moves in, fights Canelo Alvarez. Gennady Golovkin fights Canelo Alvarez in their first fight. It winds up being a draw. I scored that fight for Canelo Alvarez. There's a whole bunch of people that scored that fight for Gennady Golovkin. At the end of the day, the referee scored it a draw. But anyway you say it, unless you were just some fanatical Gennady Golovkin fan, yeah, that was a good fight. That was a close fight. Canelo Alvarez in the first fight gave him everything he could handle. Then in the second fight, Gennady Golovkin winds up losing to Canelo Alvarez and losing to Canelo Alvarez in a totally different style than Canelo Alvarez fought in their first fight. Canelo just went to him, stood right in front of him, made him miss, counter, beat him. Gennady Golovkin has had successful fights in between, but they were again at the lower level fighters. The Vanis Martirosyan, whoever that was, he fought for in his last fight in his debut on DAZN. Those level of fighters he's knocking out, he's sparking. At the higher level of fighters, that's not taking place. So where's Devrevyanchenko in this mix? I think Devrevyanchenko is somewhere in between. Gennady, as far as his skill set goes, he's got good fast hands. He's got fast hands. He's a technically sound fighter. He's a tough fighter. I'm not sure if Andre Rozier is going to be in his corner, but I know Rozier has been in his corner before, so he has a good corner. He gave a very good fight to Daniel Jacobs. I think he lost a fight to Daniel Jacobs, but he did well in that fight. Definitely showed that he was no scrub that Daniel Jacobs could just run through. So now he's had championship experience. He's been and he's there and he's fought for that belt before. Now he's going to get in there with Gennady Golovkin. And if Gennady Golovkin has in any way, shape, or form dipped because he's older or he's lost his motivation or he's taking this guy for granted, or it's just a really good night for Devrevyanchenko. Devrevyanchenko's got a really good game plan, and Devrevyanchenko could have a very good game plan. Seeing as he's now watched several people give Gennady Golovkin troubles. He saw, again, Kell Brook give him troubles. He saw Daniel Jacobs give him troubles. He saw Canelo Alvarez give him a lot of trouble and give him a draw. And then he saw Canelo Alvarez beat him. In my opinion, he saw Canelo Alvarez beat him hands down. Now, what type of things can he do that Canelo Alvarez can do, that being Devrevyanchenko, and I'm probably mispronouncing his name, forgive me if you are from the same area of the world as Sergey is, you got to forgive me. I'm not going to learn your language and how to pronounce those names without a very, very heavy accent on the name. You're just going to have to live with it. So don't be surprised if Gennady Golovkin gets tested this evening. Now, what do I think is going to happen? I have Gennady Golovkin winning by a decision. My prediction is Gennady Golovkin wins by a decision. Gennady Golovkin does not knock out Sergey Devrevyanchenko. I do not believe it could happen, but I do not believe that's going to happen. I believe Devrevyanchenko's good enough fighter and is rugged enough a fighter not to just sit there and let Gennady Golovkin hit him with just a everything in it type of left hook or a straight right hand like the last guy did. And I think that he's going to be sharp enough and he's going to be quick-handed enough to give and have enough footwork to move around on the outside, just enough on Gennady Golovkin to keep that knockout out of play. But I do not see DAZN but I do not see the judges under that type of financial situation giving Devrevyanchenko the win unless Devrevyanchenko dominates Gennady Golovkin. So I see it most likely as a decision. Now, I think it's strange that I have to say this, but I like in these videos to do some explanation of the way that you score fights. I cannot say whether or not it's going to be a unanimous decision or a split decision or a draw, right? I can't speak to that because all I can say is what I think I am going to score the fight, or what the most likely outcome of the fight would be is a decision. Now, I can't tell you, I can't predict that, I think one judge will give it to him, one judge will give it to him, and another judge will call it a draw. That would be me predicting that the outcome of 3 separate scorecards. I can't do that. All I can say is I think it's going to be a decision, or I think it's going to be a knockout. If it's a draw, I can say I think it's going to be a draw because it'll be so evenly matched that all of the referees will be so confused that it might wind up where it's at a draw. But predicting a draw is so difficult that I would never waste my time trying to do it. This fight I got for Gennady Golovkin being a draw, ain't that crazy? This being a decision for Gennady Golovkin. I don't think either guy is going to get the knockout, and I don't think Devrevyanchenko is going to dominate Gennady Golovkin to the point where he gets the decision. That said, again, this is the year of the upset. Don't be shocked. Gennady Golovkin might get his eye knocked up. He might throw his back out, get his eye gashed open, and some craziness can happen. Because like I said in the beginning of the video, both of those outcomes have happened this year in fights where the winner was damn near predetermined. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Who do you think is going to win this fight? With that, I'm out.